And this is called deductive reasoning or logical thinking. Obviously, I can't say exactly his words, but, you know, he's saying like this is why I love John Rappaport. He's ever since Joe introduced me to him, I've been reading every fucking newsletter, no more fake news, you know. Again, I've always, you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with anybody. But, you know, people at least need to think about what they're believing. You know what I mean? So, this is like pretending there's a quiz show about vaccinations. And he says, you know, the first contestant is like true value milliwatt, okay? So there's 4 questions, okay? Instead of just thinking, instead of people just blindly thinking, oh, these people are horrible, they don't want to vaccinate their children, you know. And this, again, I don't have any kids, but I see the future, and the future is that they're going to they'll start with the kids, and then they're going to force all adults to get whatever vaccination of the hour is deemed necessary, you know. And I see it for what it is. I see Big Pharma. I see that they, you know, my mom noticed it. She noticed, she's like, God, everything, every single commercial when you're watching the news is about this or that medication. Remember, medications do not cure anything. All they do is suppress. That's all they do. All these medications is a medication for everything. Just last night we saw a medication for constipation. And I said, Mom, but you've learned, right, you know, you eat properly, fruits and vegetables or nutrition and whatnot. You don't need a fucking medication for constipation, you know. And we're talking like a medication like Lilabula or something, not like, you know, whatever, kaopectate in the store. This is like a medication your doctor prescribes, and it's just whatever. Anyway, quiz show. So asking just Joe Schmo, asking the everyday person on the street, so why do we need vaccinations? Oh, why do we need to vaccinate everyone on the universe? Well, to protect our children, okay? Okay, so the host is like, yep, you're right. So, and then it's like, right, second one, like, why are vaccinated children dangerous little terrorists? Because why are unvaccinated children you know, such a danger to everybody? And True Value Mollywad is like, because they could infect my children with killer diseases. And the host is like, yeah, you're right again. Now, then the host is like, now listen very, very carefully. Listen very carefully, people. If your children are vaccinated and therefore protected against these diseases, how in God's name can an unvaccinated child ever infect your child? How? See? Logical thinking. And then True Value Mollywad, because the news says they can. And then the 4th question, how illogical are you? And then True Value Mollywad is like, I think that's a trick question, because I have no idea how illogical I am. I just watch the news and hate all parents who don't vaccinate their children. Remember, people, there are a lot of parents who, for various reasons, but I told you about that bot movie, and that made me ill, okay, because this wasn't just a parent who just, I'm not going to, you know, her child had a severe adverse reaction to getting vaccinated. She was in New York. I mean, they described it, and she got a doctor's note, everything. I mean, a severe adverse reaction. I mean, she thought she was going to die or whatnot, the parent, and they still, and it went to court, and she got a lawyer, and blah, blah, whatever, and the courts decided that she still had to vaccinate her child. But that's my biggest thing. I find this all fascinating, you know. There are, you know, you don't hear on the news about all the people, all the kids who, you know, actually do have adverse reactions to vaccinations and wind up with this or that or whatnot, you know. And they do, and it's real, it's not a conspiracy theory, they get money, they have settlements or whatnot, you know. So it is a very real thing. But the whole thing about that is, it's just not logical. If, you know, how is your child in danger from, if your child's vaccinated, your child should be safe. How is that child, your child who's vaccinated, ever in danger from an unvaccinated child, you know? I like things that make you think, because that's a very logical question. You know, how is your child ever in danger from an unvaccinated child so long as your child's vaccinated? You're doing the right thing. You're vaccinating. You're doing what you're supposed to do. So why are you so concerned about unvaccinated children? How is your child in danger from an unvaccinated child if your child is protected supposedly because you've gotten your child every vaccination under the sun? And remember what I told you, kids nowadays are vaccinated way more. I told you that they're vaccinated, like, they get way more vaccinations and far more earlier and far more often than when I was growing up. I'm just waiting to see the day when they start forcing adults to get vaccinations, you know, that they don't want.